Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So next week on Sunday, we are observing a very special festival. This is called Varaha Avatar. It is the appearance day of one of the incarnations of the Supreme Lord, called as Varaha Deva. The Lord appears in this material world as incarnations. Avatara means to descend down, to come down. So the Lord appears in this material world in many avatars, many incarnations. And what is the purpose of these incarnations? That the Lord Himself explains in the Bhagavad Gita. Lord Krishna says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. He says, whenever and wherever there is a decline of dharma and an increase in adharma, that time I myself descend. The Lord says this. And when the Lord comes to this material world as an avatara, He performs certain actions, some activities. What are those activities? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna says, I protect the devotees and I annihilate the miscreants. And also I establish real dharma. And for this purpose, I incarnate yuge yuge, means in every yuga, in every millennium, I incarnate myself. This is what the Lord says. So that means whenever there is a discrepancy in the system of dharma established by the Lord, then the Lord appears and He performs certain activities which brings the re-establishment of dharma. Right? So you may say, oh, we are hearing so many avatars have come previously, but why in Kali Yuga the Lord is not coming? So much of adharma is there in Kali Yuga. Then why the Lord has not come? No, the Lord has already come. In Kali Yuga, the Lord has appeared in the form of Nama Avatara. So He appears in the form of His holy name. So anybody who chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, the Lord descends on his tongue. And anybody who continuously chants every day, the Lord makes him part of His activities, His leelas of establishing dharma. This we should understand. In the 4th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, there is one more verse where Lord Krishna says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo vetti tattvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjuna. What is the meaning of the shloka? The Lord says, anyone who understands the transcendental nature of my appearance in this material world and my activities, anyone who understands these things, tattvataha, as it is, then such a person becomes eligible to come back to me. He does not have to take birth again in this material world. That means simply by understanding the transcendental activities of Krishna in various incarnations, we can actually become purified and we can become free from the cycle of birth and death. That is the benefit of understanding the activities of the Lord. So, today we are going to discuss from Srimad Bhagavatam what is this Varaha Avatara, under what circumstances the Lord appeared in this Varaha form, and what was his purpose, and how can we understand that Lord's form is transcendental, even though he appeared in the form of a wild boar. Varaha means a boar. So Varaha Deva means the Lord appeared in the form of a wild boar. So how can we conceive, how can we understand that the Lord's form is transcendental, even though he appeared in the form of a wild boar? Right? Let us try to understand this. So we will be reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 13. And this chapter is called The Appearance of Lord Varaha. So we will read the verses. In this chapter there are 50 verses. We will read the verses and try to understand the meaning of these verses. We will read the translations and understand. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, so we know that this Bhagavatam was spoken by Shukadev Goswami. Who is Shukadev Goswami? He is the son of Vyasadeva. And this Bhagavatam was spoken by Shukadev Goswami to the great king Maharaj Parikshit. Who is Maharaj Parikshit? The grandson of Arjuna. Right? So Maharaj Parikshit requests Shukadev Goswami to narrate Srimad Bhagavatam, because Maharaj Parikshit was cursed that he will die in 7 days. On the 7th day, he would be leaving his body. He would die because of the attack of a snake, Takshaka. So, Maharaj Parikshit, when he got to know that he is going to die in 7 days, he did not feel sorry. Nor did he say that, oh, let me fully enjoy all material pleasures next 7 days. But because he was actually a devotee, he consulted with other advanced devotees and asked them, what should I do now? I'm going to die in 7 days. How can I attain perfection of my life? Can you please tell me? So all the sages advised him, best thing is you should actually hear about Krishna and his activities. Hare Adbhuta Karmanaha. You have to hear the wonderful activities performed by Lord Krishna. And in this way, you must fix your mind on him. And if you can do this till the end of your life, at the point when you are going to quit your body, if you remember Krishna and leave your body, then you can attain perfection. This was the advice by all the sages. And Shukadev Goswami, he approached that place. He happened to come there by the Lord's arrangement. And Parikshit Maharaj requested Shukadev Goswami to narrate Bhagavatam. So therefore Shukadev Goswami narrates. So here Shukadev Goswami is continuing to speak to Maharaj Parikshit. O king, after hearing all these most virtuous topics from the sage Maitreya, Vidura inquired further on the topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which he adored to hear. Actually, Shukadev Goswami previously is referring to a conversation between the sage Maitreya and Vidura, in which the activities of the Lord are narrated. Now, after hearing those conversations, Maharaj Parikshit wanted to hear more. So Shukadev Goswami, continues the conversation between Maitreya and Vidura. Right? Vidura said, "O great sage, what did Swayambhuva, the great son of Brahma, do after obtaining his very loving wife? O best of the virtuous, the original king of kings, Manu, was a great devotee of the personality of Godhead Hari, and thus it is worth hearing of his sublime character and activities. Please describe them. I am very eager to hear." Persons who hear from a spiritual master with great labor and for a long time must hear from the mouths of pure devotees about the character and activities of pure devotees. Pure devotees always think within their hearts of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead who awards his devotees liberation. So, Vidura is a great devotee, we all know. Vidura is a great devotee, a character in the Mahabharata. And Vidura happens to meet another great devotee called Maitreya Rishi. Whenever two devotees meet, their talks are always centered around Krishna. Just like when two business people meet, they talk about their business. How is your business going on? He will say, yeah, it is going on nicely. Or he will say, no, market is not good. I'm trying, I'm going on loss. Their talks are always absorbed in about business matters because they are serious businessmen. If you meet, let's say, Shah Rukh Khan fan club members, their talks are always centered around Shah Rukh Khan. Oh, what is his latest movie? And in that movie, this scene was so good, his acting was so nice. That means they are fully absorbed in the topics about Shah Rukh Khan because they are all Shah Rukh Khan fans. In the same way, whenever two devotees meet, when devotees of Krishna meet, how do you know they are devotees of Krishna? Because their talks are going to be about Krishna. And as it is said here, their talks are also going to be about the pure devotees of Krishna who have attained the mercy of Krishna. That's all, that is the talk going on. The entire Bhagavatam is that only. Bhagavatam, it has 18,000 shlokas. The entire Bhagavatam is about Krishna, his activities, pure devotees of Krishna and their activities. And the loving reciprocation between Krishna and his pure devotees. That's all. That is Bhagavatam. There is nothing else discussed. Right? So that is the standard of Srimad Bhagavatam. So anybody who wants to absorb his mind in Krishna, such a person should hear Bhagavatam. Very important. Right? At any given point of time, we will be either hearing about some material subject matter or we will be hearing about Krishna. There is no third option actually. Right? So at any given point of time, we will be driven by Maya thoughts or Krishna thoughts. Now devotee is one who wants to increase his time with Krishna. Increase his time in spiritual activities. That is devotee. So for those who want to do that, Bhagavatam is the subject matter which is meant for hearing. We should all hear. That is why Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavata Seva. Hearing Bhagavatam is called Seva of Bhagavatam. How do you serve this Bhagavatam? By hearing. We have to hear. So Vidura, being a devotee, he is very interested to know about activities connected with Krishna. Right? So Vidura is making a statement here Persons who hear from a spiritual master with great labor and for a long time must hear from the mouths of pure devotees about the character and activities of pure devotees. Why? Why should you hear about the character and activities of pure devotees only? Because pure devotees always think within their hearts about the lotus feet of Krishna, who awards his devotees liberation. Krishna has got many names. One of the names is Mukunda. Krishna is called Mukunda. One who gives mukti, one who awards mukti is called Mukunda. So simply by hearing about Krishna and fixing Krishna's bhakti in our heart, Krishna becomes pleased with us and he will award us liberation. That is why he is called Mukunda. So, pure devotees are those who are always thinking about Krishna within their hearts. Therefore, we must hear about pure devotees. By hearing about them, what will happen? We will also develop inspiration to serve Krishna. Right? So the same Bhagavatam narrates the history of Prahlad Maharaj, for example. Bhakta Prahlada. He is called the king among all the devotees. Now when you hear about Prahlada Charitra, you will feel so inspired. In spite of so many challenges, so many obstacles, so many difficulties, how Prahlada was so determined in chanting Krishna's names. That is why the Lord personally appeared from the pillar for his sake. Right? So you can see, if the Lord has to take an incarnation and come to protect this devotee, what should be the stature of his devotional service? What should be his position? Isn't it? He is very exalted. So like this, there are narrations of so many Mahabhagavatars. They are all called Bhagavatars, pure devotees of the Lord, who are always thinking about Bhagavan within their heart. Their life is centered around Bhagavan. Therefore, they are called Bhagavata. And this book is also called Bhagavatam because it is only talking about Bhagavatas. Right? So, we have to hear, Vidura is saying, we have to actually hear about the activities and character of pure devotees of the Lord, because we can derive great inspiration from them to practice Krishna consciousness. So, what happened to Swayambhuva Manu? Right? This is the question. Swayambhuva Manu. Manu means father of mankind. The first progenitor of humanity is called Manu. Right? And he was born as the son of Lord Brahma. So, after Swayambhuva Manu was born, what happened to him? What all activities did he do? Please describe to me, because he was a great devotee of the Lord. Swayambhuva Manu was a great devotee of the Lord. So what did he do? Please narrate to me. So this is the question of Vidura to Maitreya Rishi. So whatever Maitreya Rishi spoke to Vidura, the same thing Shukadeva Goswami is narrating to Maharaj Parikshit. So let us see what happened after that. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said, the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna was pleased to place his lotus feet on the lap of Vidura because Vidura was very meek and gentle. The sage Maitreya was very pleased with Vidura's words, and being influenced by his spirit, he attempted to speak. See, whenever spiritual talks are happening, the speaker and the listener both must be qualified. Speaker must be a great devotee of the Lord, and listener also must be interested to serve the Lord. Then the conversation will be highly impactful. Right? Only if the speaker is a devotee and the audience is not interested, or vice versa, if the speaker is only speaking to earn a livelihood, out of this Bhagavata narration, especially in North India, this is a very common practice. Bhagavata Katha, Bhagavata Saptaha, they do. And most of the times the speaker may not be qualified at all. He treats this as his occupation, to earn his money. So he goes everywhere and conducts Katha and then earns money. But personally he may not have faith in what he is speaking. But he speaks very nicely. It attracts the audience. They get so emotionally, sentimentally, they get so attracted. But personally, if you see the faith, if you see the life of that person, he's not at all trying to follow what Bhagavatam is saying in his life. Now if you hear from such professional reciters, there is no use. There is no use. So one of the Acharyas, Srila Sanatana Goswami, says that hearing Bhagavatam from a non-devotee is just like drinking milk which is touched by a poisonous snake. Actually, milk is very nutritious food. It is very good for your body. But if it is touched by a snake, poisonous snake, then what happens? If you drink that milk, instead of getting nutrition, you will die. In the same way, even though Bhagavatam is pure, completely transcendental subject matter, but when we hear from one who is faithless or one who is not a devotee, one who is not trying to practice it in his daily life, then it will be detrimental for our spiritual life. Therefore, we should avoid. That is what Sanatana Goswami says. So here, Vidura was an elevated soul. Mahatma Vidura is called. He was a great devotee of Krishna. When Krishna was personally present on this planet 5,000 years ago, Vidura saw him face to face. Vidura knew that he is the Supreme Lord himself. Not everybody knew Krishna to be the Supreme Lord, even though Krishna was present on the planet 5,000 years ago. There were very few handful people who could actually recognize Krishna to be the Supreme Lord. And Vidura was one of them. He was a pure devotee of the Lord. Actually, Vidura is an incarnation of Yamaraja. Yamaraja wanted to witness the pastimes, Leelas of Krishna. Therefore, Krishna gave him an opportunity. Yamaraja said, see, every time I am only involved in punishing the sinful people in hell. I am always busy. In hell, there is no free time because there is work overload. Lot of people come there, sinful people. And Yamaraja has to judge all of those sinful people based on their activities, and he has to award them suitable punishment. So he is very busy in all these things. But actually, Yamaraja is a pure devotee of Krishna. He is one among the 12 Mahajanas. Mahajana means great authorities in the science of bhakti. So Yamaraja is one of the Mahajanas. Many people don't know this. Right? So Yamaraja said, see, always I am busy in the hell, but I want to witness your Leelas. Next time when you please come to the earth, please give me an opportunity to also witness your Leelas and to do some seva to you. This is a request of Yamaraja. And upon this request, Krishna granted his request and he was born as Vidura. When Krishna went as a peace messenger to the court of Dhritarashtra before the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna rejected the Chapan Bhog prepared by Duryodhana, and he instead went to the house of Vidura and accepted his simple offering, because Krishna always accepts offerings made by devotees, not by anybody else. So therefore, that shows that how Vidura was an elevated soul, and he, when he asked this question to Maitreya Rishi, What happened to this Swayambhuva Manu? I want to know because he is a great devotee. Can you please narrate? Then Maitreya Rishi begins to speak. The sage Maitreya said to Vidura, after his appearance, Manu, the father of mankind, along with his wife Shatarupa, thus addressed the reservoir of Vedic wisdom, Lord Brahma, with obeisances and folded hands. They said, you are the father of all living entities and the source of their subsistence because they are all born of you. Please order us how we may be able to render service unto you. O worshipful one, please give us your direction for the execution of duty within your working capacity so that we can follow it for fame in this life and progress in the next. So Swayambhuva Manu, the first progenitor, son of Lord Brahma, the father of mankind, he requests Lord Brahma. So what does he say? Please tell me, how can we render service to you? You have created us. You are our source of creation, O Lord Brahma. Now can you please give us directions? What exactly I should do? What is my duty? Now this is a very important query. One who is trying to serve the master has to understand what is the intention of the master and conduct his activities accordingly. This is very important. What is the program of work of the master? And how can I help him achieve his purpose? This should be the mood of a devotee. A devotee of the Lord always wants to know what the Lord wants me to do. Let me do like that. This is a very important qualification of a progressive devotee. So, a devotee has to follow the instructions of the spiritual master. By following the instructions of the spiritual master, what will happen? One will attain success in this life and one will also attain perfection at the end of this life. Both can be achieved. So Swayambhuva Manu is saying, how can I achieve both of these? Can you please give direction to us? So Lord Brahma is the original spirit, is a primary spiritual master, and by following Lord Brahma's instructions, Swayambhuva Manu wanted to please the Supreme Lord, Krishna. This is the understanding. So let us see what happened. Let us see what Lord Brahma said. Lord Brahma said, my dear son, O Lord of the world, I am very pleased with you and I desire all blessings for you and your wife. You have without reservation surrendered yourself unto me with your heart for my instructions. O hero, your example is quite befitting a son in relationship with his father. This sort of adoration for the superior is required. One who is beyond the limit of envy and who is sane accepts the order of his father with great delight and executes it to his full capacity. Since you are my very obedient son, I ask you to beget children qualified like yourself in the womb of your wife. Rule the world in pursuance of the principles of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus worship the Lord with performances of yajna. O King, if you can give proper protection to the living beings in the material world, that will be the best service for me. When the Supreme Lord sees you to be a good protector of the conditioned souls, certainly the master of the senses will be very pleased with you. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Janardana or Lord Krishna, is the form to accept all results of sacrifice. If he is not satisfied, then one's labor for advancement is futile. He is the ultimate self, and therefore one who does not satisfy him certainly neglects his own interests. These are the words spoken by Lord Brahma. So Lord Brahma is the great father. Why he is the great father? Because he is guiding his son on the path of perfection. So who is a great father? The father who can actually guide his son or daughter to serve Krishna. He is a great father. It is not a sentimental conversation that is happening between the father and the son here. Many times, we try to have a nice goody-goody conversation. So when father or mother sees the child, oh, very nice, beta, very nice work you are doing. They try to encourage whatever the son or daughter is doing, whether it is good or bad, whether it is, because many times parents themselves do not know what is the goal of life. Isn't it? They themselves may not be engaged in the right activities. Right? And how will they guide their dependents? First of all, in Kali Yuga, no son and daughter will go and ask the father like this, how can I serve you? You see, Manu is asking like that to Lord Brahma. How can I serve you, my dear father? You have given birth to me. Now tell me, what should I do? He's asking like that. Now even if there are such dutiful sons and daughters in Kali Yuga who go and ask their parents, please tell us what we should do. The parents themselves may not know what to tell. Or they may tell something which is not worth following. That is a problem in Kali Yuga. Isn't it? So the Bhagavatam says, simply giving birth to the children that even animals will do. What is so great about it? Isn't it? But guiding the children on the path of perfection, that is real parents. Right? And also, here we see Manu, what is Manu's mood? He is wanting to serve his father. He wants to follow the instruction of his father. Right? So, the Bhagavatam gives a comparison here. Look at Manu and Brahma, how he was so obedient. Look at Prahlad Maharaj and his father Hiranyakashipu. Both are fathers and sons. But there is a great difference, a gulf of difference between these two pairs. Here in case of Manu and Brahma was a devotee, and Manu is also interested to attain perfection in life. He is also a devotee. So therefore Brahma is giving instructions to Manu. See, you should attain perfection in your life, and you can attain perfection in your life only when you please the Supreme Lord. And since you are born as Manu, your duty is to give birth to children and guide them towards Krishna consciousness and give them protection. If you do this, Krishna will be pleased with you, and then you will be blessed by Krishna. This is the instruction given by Brahmaji to Manu. But on the contrary, you see the conversation between Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj, father and son. Hiranyakashipu thinks that the Supreme Lord is his enemy. And his son is coming and telling, my dear father, please give up all these material notions and you please take shelter at Lord Hari's lotus feet. Son is instructing father, but father is not in the mood of listening to his good instruction. Correct? Payappanam bhujanganam kevalam vishavardhanam. If you feed milk to a venomous snake, it will only increase its venom. So when Prahlad Maharaj gave the good instruction to Hiranyakashipu, and he said, see, give up all these materialistic ideas, even though actually it was Hiranyakashipu's duty to instruct his son, but Hiranyakashipu didn't know. So here, son is only instructing. There's nothing wrong. Good instructions anybody can give to anyone. There is no age barrier. Correct? So, but here, Hiranyakashipu was not ready to listen to son's instructions. So, The idea is, yes, we should be obedient to our superiors. We should be obedient to our parents, to our elderly people, but we should be careful that we don't accept their non-godly instructions. That is the lesson we get to know from Prahlada. We should not be sentimentally obedient. Sentiment. Oh, he's so dear to me. Whatever he says, I will accept. That is sentimentalism. Prahlad Maharaj did not do that. When his father said, stop Hari Bhajana, he said, oh my dear father, you have given birth to me. Okay, I will stop Hari Bhajana. Whatever you say, I will follow. No. No. In fact, he opposed it. He said, no, you start Hari Bhajana, he said. Why are you stopping me? You also should be doing this only, my dear father. That is real intelligence. So we should not be sentimental, that we should understand. Right? Let's continue so what did Brahma say? Brahma said, you are supposed to create human population because your designation is Manu, the father of mankind. And then you should also govern this world according to the Lord's instructions. And you should give them protection. All your citizens should be given protection. This is your prescribed duty. If you do this, Krishna will be pleased. And he also said, all our activities are actually meant to please Krishna. If Krishna is displeased, then whatever big activities, achievements you may do, they're all useless. This is the instruction of Lord Brahma. Right? Let us see now what Manu replies. Sri Manu said, O all-powerful Lord, O killer of all sins, I shall abide by your order. Now please let me know my place and that of the living entities born of me. O master of the demigods, Lord Brahma, please attempt to lift the earth which is merged in the great water, because it is the dwelling place for all the living entities. It can be done by your endeavor and by the mercy of the Lord. It's very important. So in the very beginning of the creation, the earth was actually submerged in the Garbhodaka ocean. The earth is supposed to be the place of residence of all the living entities. Now Brahma is telling Manu, please create progeny, fill the earth with humanity. But where is earth? There is no place. The earth is submerged into the ocean. So therefore immediately Manu said, my dear Lord Brahma, can you please do something? Bring this earth back to its position. It is now submerged. So the scriptures explain one more interesting reason why this earth got submerged into the Garbhodaka ocean. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I enter into each planet I enter and I maintain them in their position. Very important. Heavenly bodies are very huge. They are all supposed to be in their specific orbits, in their designated places in the universe. How are they fixed there in their position? That is because of the Lord's arrangement. And what we call as the gravitational energy is actually a kind of energy of the Lord called Sankarshana Shakti. Right? So because of that Sankarshana, all the orbits are in their designated positions. Now there was a great demon called as Hiranyaksha. This Hiranyaksha, who was he? He was the son of Kashyapa Prajapati and his wife Diti. Now, so they gave birth to two sons, twins, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Okay? Hiranyakashipu was the elder brother, Hiranyaksha was the younger brother. Okay? So Hiranyakashipu told his brother, see, all these sages, they're all performing yajnas. And because of these yajnas, devatas are becoming powerful. And we are not able to overpower the devatas. So what we should do is, if we want to overpower the devatas, we should reduce their strength. Their strength comes from yajna. Now we should stop all the yajnas. Okay? Right? Now all the yajnas have to be stopped. One by one, if you go and stop all the yajnas, it will take a lot of time. Better, we should take the earth and put it under water. Mass at once. We should do this. Now how to do that? Hiranyaksha was very powerful. Right? What did Hiranyaksha do? See, the Prabhupada explains, Hiranya means gold, Aksha means eyes. His eyes are always fixed on gold. Okay, means he always wants gold. So he was a great gold digger. So he started digging the earth. He started doing mass scale mining of gold and other elements, precious metals which are in the deep earth. Okay, he started taking it out so much. Right? Nowadays we also see that, no? Whenever there is mass mining or inquiring activities, the delicate balance in the earth's tectonic plates will get affected. There will be volcanic eruptions. There will be so many. And the chemicals, the gaseous things which come out of that create climatic changes and all that. That we are seeing now also. That means we human beings, we have spoiled the earth so much. I was watching yesterday one documentary. They said about, I forgot the figure. They were saying about 1 or 2 billion tons of plastic are present on the oceans, in the oceans, on our planet. 1 to 2 billion tons of plastic. And they were also saying that NASA and other space research organizations of the world, they have gone to other planets, and they have, other planets they have not gone. They have not physically gone, but they have launched their, satellites, rovers and all that, no? So, on Mars also, they have found recently some plastic remains. That means we have not only polluted our planet, our pollution has extended now to the next other planets also. Before human beings set their foot on Mars, already plastic is gone there from this planet. You can just imagine the amount of. So these demons who are there, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu, that time there was only 1 or 2 demons like that. Today everybody practically is a demon. Anybody who is, creating problems for the earth, meddling with the balance of nature, destroying nature, they're all demons only. That is what Bhagavatam is telling us. Right? Demoniac people in Kali Yuga are more because of these kind of things. Mass scale industrialization. So now we have spoiled one planet. Now we are looking for, is there another place we can go and stay? Right? So the point is, this Hiranyaksha had so much dug the earth actually lost its balance and it actually submerged into the Garbhodaka ocean. Now, don't think that these are all fairy tales. How can an entire planet go and get submerged into the Garbhodaka ocean? Now, it is all possible. Today, if we are seeing global warming, how much it has actually it has affected our planet. Then imagine what Hiranyaksha could do. It is said, if we continue to use these refrigerators, ACs and many other things which are producing these chlorofluorocarbons, the ozone layer will get ruptured. And because of this, what happens? UV rays will come inside, right? And also it is said the polar ice caps will get melted, and even with a few feet, the sea level, if it increases, so many cities of the planet will get submerged into water. And America, USA is supposed to be very advanced country. They are afraid of this global warming so much because nearly 50% of their whatever activities, whatever major cities, they're all on the east coast and west coast. Most of their prominent cities, they're all on east coast, west coast. That means they all will get submerged. Correct? So, that we are seeing today. So therefore, what Bhagavatam is saying, that the entire planet got submerged into Garbhodaka ocean, we should not have doubt on this. It is not some imaginary story, it is quite possible. So, Manu is telling, I will create people, but where is the accommodation? That earthly planet has got submerged into the ocean. Now please do something to bring it out. This was the request of Manu to Lord Brahma. Lord Brahma is very powerful. But Lord Brahma, can he do this on his own? He started thinking, what is the strategy now to bring this earthly planet outside the Garbhodaka ocean? Let us see what happened. Sri Maitreya continued. Thus, seeing the earth merged in the water, Brahma gave his attention for a long time to how it could be lifted. So he's thinking now for a long time, how can this earth be lifted out? Brahma thought, while I have been engaged in the process of creation, the earth has been inundated by a deluge and has gone down into the depths of the ocean. What can we do who are engaged in this matter of creation? It is best to let the Almighty Lord direct us. So Brahma is saying, even though I am very powerful, the Lord has actually empowered me so much. I am able to create 84 lakh varieties of species. Practically all the devatas are reporting to me. But still, I can't do it. It's not within my limited capacity to lift an entire planet and bring it out of the ocean. It's not possible for me. Brahma is thinking like that. So then Maitreya Rishi continues. O sinless Vidura, all of a sudden, while Brahma was engaged in thinking, he was thinking like this, Lord only should direct us. Lord should help. It is not within my capacity to take out this earth. So while he was thinking like that, what happened? A small form of a boar came out from his nostril, from Brahma's nostril. If small form of a boar came, the measurement of the creature was not more than the upper portion of a thumb. Upper portion of the thumb, that much small. Creature, what was that creature? He was a boar, Varaha. He came. That means Brahma did not even go and appeal to the Lord. Brahma was just thinking what to do now, like that. Only Lord should help. Just when he was thinking like that, from his nostril, this creature, peculiar creature, who was in the form of a boar and whose measurement was about upper portion of a thumb, that creature came out of his nostril. Maitreya Rishi is continuing to Vidura. O descendant of Bharata, while Brahma was observing him, that boar became situated in the sky in a wonderful manifestation, as gigantic as a great elephant. That means initially it was a form of a size of a thumb, but now it became huge like an elephant. That form of the Lord, that Varaha, right? Struck with wonder at observing the wonderful boar-like form in the sky, Brahma with great Brahmanas like Marichi as well as the Kumaras and Manu began to argue in various ways. So that form of Varaha is there in the sky. It is a big form, elephant-like form. Now, all the Devatas, Brahma, Manu, everybody is now discussing who is that, who is that. Right? All of a sudden he came, from nowhere he came. So they are having discussion. So they are saying, is this some extraordinary entity come in the pretense of a boar? It is very wonderful that he has come from my nose. Brahma is saying. Who is this person? Who is this entity? And it is so wonderful that he has come from my nose. Never before from my nose anybody has come like this. Now who is this person coming? First of all, this boar was seen no bigger than the tip of a thumb. And within a moment, he was as large as a stone. My mind is perturbed. Brahma is saying, I don't know what is this. And you remember, you should understand, Brahma is the most intelligent personality within this universe. Nobody is more intelligent than Brahma. And upon seeing that form of the boar which came out of his nose, he himself is disturbed. He is not able to understand who is this. You see, just like today, the greatest of the brains, greatest of the scientists, they are puzzled about many mysteries of this universe. Right? They say the center of our galaxy, there is a black hole. What is this black hole? Black hole has such huge gravity, nothing can escape it, even light cannot escape, they say. That is why we are not able to see the black hole. What will happen if you go near the black hole? Will the entire existence end? Will we all go end up, will the earthly planet get, end up in the black hole? There are many such mysteries. So when the scientists observe the sky, they see some red giant planets, stars, red giants, right? They see, for example, within our solar system also there are many mysteries. They're trying to find out, is there a possibility of life on the moon? Right? So they say, we have sent satellites, we have even sent people on the moon, but there are no symptoms of life. Right? But by certain analysis, spectroscopy and all, they found out that there must be some under crust, there must be some water which may be harboring some life there. But how to go there? Can we drill a hole and see inside? They're trying all this. Right? So, that means one may be very intelligent, but in front of the Lord's creation, even the most intelligent person becomes bewildered. So, actually, the more you go deeper into studying nature, the more you go deeper into science, we are actually supposed to become devotees. Because we should become humble. What I know is only a drop. What I don't know is an ocean. This is what Sir Isaac Newton said. Known is a drop, unknown is an ocean. Right? What we don't know is ocean. What we know is just a drop. Just one drop. So Lord Brahma, when he saw this Varaha form, his mind was perturbed, it was disturbed. So Lord Brahma said, is he the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu? Right? Is he Lord Vishnu? Because only he can do such extraordinary things. Now you may say, see this nostril, nose of a person is not a great place, to come from. Why did the Lord come from the nose? The Lord can come from anywhere. That is the understanding. Right? The Lord is Anurenu Trunakashta Paripurna Govinda. The Lord is present in every anu, in every atom. He is present in every renu. Renu means dust particle. Even in a dust particle, the Lord is present. Without the Lord's presence, nothing can exist. Right? So the Lord is everywhere existing. He is existing everywhere in every atom. So it is not at all astonishing that the Lord came from the nostril of Brahma. Just like we all know this Prahlad story, right? Which we was talking about. So when Hiranyakashipu challenged his son Prahlad, where is your Vishnu? So Prahlad said, I am seeing my Lord everywhere. He is present everywhere. So is he present in this pillar? Yes, I am able to see him. He is present here. I am able to see him face to face. So the Lord is present everywhere, but we need qualification to see him. That qualification is prema and bhakti. Right? Devotional service which matures into prema, pure love for Krishna. When one attains that perfection, then 24/7 one will be able to see the Lord everywhere. The Lord is never lost to the sight of a pure devotee. When we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we are actually trying to serve the Lord, and when we attain maturity in this service, we develop prema, Krishna prema, pure love of Krishna. Actually, that is the purpose of chanting Hare Krishna, to attain Krishna prema. This Krishna prema enables the devotee to see the Lord 24/7. Right now for us, if somebody asks, is the Lord present here? I don't know. I'm not seeing. Maybe he is present. I don't know. Right? But Prahlad Maharaj, when he was asked, he was a 5-year-old boy. He was asked by his father, is your God present there in this pillar? He didn't take time. Let me think. Let me analyze some theory I'll come up with. According to this theory, the Lord must be present here. No, he did not take all such time. He did not speculate. He said, yes, my dear father, I'm able to see him. He's there. That is the confidence that pure devotee has. And this confidence is not simply some gut feeling. Maybe he's there. I've studied in the scripture, God is present everywhere. Therefore, maybe I think he must be there. No. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santas sadaiva hrudayeshu vilokayanti. Sadaiva means always. A pure devotee of the Lord, because his eyes are anointed with premanjana. Anjana means ointment. We all have this amritanjana. You know amritanjana, right? When we have headache, you apply that pain balm, amritanjana. The anjana in Sanskrit means ointment. So, Brahma Samhita is saying, with amritanjana you cannot see God. You need another ointment. You have to apply that ointment on your eyes. What is that ointment? Premanjana. When your eyes are anointed with love for Krishna, then Sadaiva, 24/7, you can see Krishna face to face. Actually, human life is meant for seeing God face to face. That is the purpose of human life. Right? There is no other purpose for human life. Human life is meant to come to this stage, to be able to see God face to face, to be able to talk to God face to face. That is a special prerogative of human life. And when we don't work on that goal of life, and when we simply waste our time in following some temporary pleasures, then we are actually underutilizing our human life. So Brahma, when he saw this gigantic form of the Lord, he was surprised and he was thinking, is this Lord Vishnu who has come from my nostril? While Brahma was deliberating with his sons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu roared tumultuously like a great mountain. Does a mountain roar? Why is it said mountain roars? How does a mountain roar? Huh? When they slide. During landscape. Landslides. Yeah, that is there. When thunder, lightning strikes mountains, that time also there is a tumultuous sound which is heard. One sound is because it is thundering in the sky. Another sound when the lightning strikes the mountains, many times mountains also can break up into pieces. That creates more sound. So the Lord's roaring, that Varaha form, roared loudly like a thundering, like a great mountain. And that was like a confirmation. Yes, I am only that Supreme Lord who has come. Right? It was like a confirmation signal. The omnipresent Supreme Personality of Godhead enlivened Brahma and other highly elevated Brahmanas by again roaring with his uncommon voice, which echoed in all directions. When the great sages and thinkers who are residents of Janaloka, Tapoloka and Satyaloka heard the tumultuous voice of Lord Boar, which was the all-auspicious sound of the all-merciful Lord, they chanted auspicious chants from the three Vedas. So the Lord gave double confirmation. 2 times he roared to signal to Brahma that yes, I am the same Supreme Lord, your Father, who has come in this way. And then all the great Devatas, great sages, they started glorifying the Lord. How did they glorify the Lord? By chanting the Vedic mantras. Right? Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedyam. Actually, all the Vedas are meant for understanding Krishna. So all the Vedas are glorifying Krishna. So when Lord appeared, all the devotees, they took the opportunity to chant the Vedic hymns. So after hearing the Vedic hymns, what did the Lord do? Let us see. Playing like an elephant, he entered into the water, after roaring again in reply to the Vedic prayers by the great devotees. The Lord is the object of the Vedic prayers, and thus he understood that the devotees' prayers were meant for him. It's very important. When we offer prayer to the Lord, it is not a one-sided traffic. It's not a one-sided communication. Right? In the 8th canto of Bhagavatam, in Gajendra prayers, there is one interesting word used. The Lord is called Alayaya, means one who is always attentive to the prayers offered by his sincere devotees. So when we offer prayers to Krishna, we should not think that maybe Krishna is not listening to me. As a formality, as a ritual, I will offer prayer anyway, just in case if Krishna listens. No, there is no just in case and all. Krishna surely hears. If our prayers are heartfelt prayers, if we have that bhakti, if we have that earnestness to seek the Lord will surely hear our prayers. There is no doubt. Right? When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The Lord is hearing to you. You should not have doubt. Right? No any, sound is not coming. You may think. Here when the sages offered Vedic prayers, the Lord roared. He gave indication, yes, I have accepted your prayers. Now when I chant Hare Krishna mantra, no roaring is coming. No sound is coming. How do I know whether Lord has really heard or not? How do we know? Actually, the more you chant attentively, the more your desire to serve God, serve Krishna will increase. That is an indication for reciprocation of the Lord. The Lord is reciprocating with you. When you chant nicely and hear the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, the Lord will bless you with more appetite for bhakti, more desire for bhakti. And the Lord will help you to get out of material temptations. That then you should know Varaha Dev is roaring. He has actually reciprocated. Right? So our duty is to sincerely try to serve the Lord the way the scriptures and the spiritual master tells us. Now, and definitely with faith we must practice the process, and if we are sincerely doing it, surely the Lord will reciprocate. Right? So when we practice bhakti, when we are progressing in bhakti, how do you know the Lord is reciprocating with you? In Bhagavatam there is a nice analogy given. When you eat food, no one has to come and give a certificate to you. Okay, now your hunger is gone. No. It is self-experiential, isn't it? So when you eat food, three things happen simultaneously. With every morsel of food, your hunger subsides. Correct? Second thing, you feel satisfaction. Third thing, your body gets nutrients, nourishment. Three things happen with every morsel of food. Not that first few morsels only nutrients will come. After that few more morsels only satisfaction will come. Then after that your hunger will subside. No. All these three are happening simultaneously. Correct? In the same way, bhakti pareshanubhavaha viraktir anyatra syat. The Bhagavatam says, bhakti para isha anubhavaha. With bhakti what happens? You experience Krishna in your life. When you chant Hare Krishna mantra, when you hear about Krishna, see, we are discussing about Varaha Dev's Leela. This happened many millennia ago. But when we hear today from Bhagavatam, it actually captures our attention. Right? Because this is not some dead story. Bhagavatam is still living. Bhagavatam is not different from the Lord. When we are actually discussing about Krishna, we get the same experience of being with Krishna. Now this is not simply psyching up, but you will actually experience that. Right? You will actually feel that. Before reading Bhagavatam, we may not be able to relate with Varaha Deva. But after we hear this, read this, especially when we read Prabhupada's explanation, we feel, oh, Varaha Dev is so related to me. He's so close to me. We feel that because Bhagavatam is talking about the Lord who is eternal, who can be appreciated by just hearing about Him. Just by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna becomes part of your daily life. Just imagine, no? Just by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, Krishna will live with you. You will live with Krishna. Like that, just by hearing this Varaha Leela or Narasimha Leela or any Leela that is mentioned in Bhagavatam, this becomes a reality for us. That is the potency of Bhagavatam. Right? So here it is said, Varaha Dev, he roared again, reciprocating with the Vedic prayers offered by the great devotees, and then he entered into the Garbhodaka ocean like an elephant enters the water. Why has he entered there? To bring up the earth. Let's see. Before entering the water to rescue the earth, Lord Varaha flew in the sky, slashing his tail, his hard hairs quivering. His very glance was luminous, and he scattered the clouds in the sky with his hooves and his glittering white tusks. So description about Varaha Dev's form is given here. Right? So his white tusks were glittering, shining like the stars in the sky, and his hooves scattered the clouds in the sky, and his glance was luminous, and he slashed his tail while flying in the sky, and his hard hairs on his body, they were quivering, they were shaking. Right? Actually, Varaha Dev is also called Yajna Varaha. He's called Yajna Varaha. He is the personification of Yajna. Yajna is the means to satisfy Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Right? So, when Varaha Dev appeared, it is said, from his hair, bodily hair, the Darbha grass was born. Darbha grass, if you know, it is said to be very auspicious. Especially, you might have seen maybe your grandparents during solar eclipse, lunar eclipse. What they do is they put this Darbha grass in some food ingredients to preserve it. Why it is so powerful? It is said that according to Vedic understanding, it will negate the ill effects of the eclipse. Right? Now, why it is so powerful? Because it is coming from the body of Varaha Dev, the hairs of Varaha Dev. Right? And also the sesame seeds which are used, especially in Pitru Tarpana, it is used, sesame seeds. These are, drop shaped. These are actually coming from the perspiration of Varaha Deva. Varaha Deva's sweat, perspiration, they gave birth to the sesame seeds, till, right? So, now these things we may have some, how is it possible? Everything is possible for the Lord. Now this is transcendental science. It is not verifiable through our material calculations. So we accept them as it is mentioned in the Vedas. So he was personally the Supreme Lord Vishnu and was therefore transcendental. Yet because he had the body of a hog, he searched after the earth by smell. His tusks were fearful, and he glanced over the devotee Brahmanas engaged in offering prayers. Thus he entered the water. So, the earth has got a peculiar smell. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also mentions, Punyo Gandha Prithivyam Cha. I am the original fragrance of the earth. So, all the Panchabhutas, they have 5 different characteristics. For example, special characteristic of the earth element is smell. Special characteristic of the water element is taste. Like this, etc. So, how did Varaha Dev search after Mother Earth? By smelling. Right? Now this Varaha, or the form of a boar, it's not the normal pig that we see in the gutters. Okay. This pig eats stool. Last week I was talking about this, right? Now, this wild boar lives in the forests. It has tusks also. It digs the earth and eats the roots of plants and trees. That is its specific food. So the Lord accepted that form. Now the Lord can accept any form. The Lord can accept any form. Right? But all his forms are transcendental. Have you ever seen any pig flying in the sky? Or have you heard about it? No. Or have you heard that a pig initially came from somebody's nostril in a small shape, thumb-shaped size, then it became such huge like an elephant? So these descriptions show that even though the Lord accepted the body of a boar, he is still the Lord. He is still above the laws of this material nature. This we have to understand. We should not think that. So there is a concept called anthropomorphism. Anthropomorphism and zoomorphism. Morpho means morphology. Morpho means form. So, some people say, you see, in all your religious books, you say that God has a human-like form. Now, because you are a human being, you have imagined a form like your own form and imposed it on God. So this is called anthropomorphism. They say like that. But actually it is not that we have imposed a form on God. Right? God is the source of all the forms that exist. Every form that exists, the original source is God. So he can come in any form. Right? So, and similarly, zoomorphism. Oh, you say Ganesha has an elephant head, Narasimha has a lion face, Varaha, you're saying he's like a boar, Matsya, he's like a fish, tortoise, kurma. This is all called zoomorphism. You have imposed, you have come across fishes and boars and lions in this world. Therefore, you have created a story out of it and you have given that kind of form to your God. This is called zoomorphism. But actually both these theories are wrong because these are not imaginary stories. In fact, you will see the Vedic culture influence is not, it is there all over the world. There are many places all over the world which have excavations have happened there, and there also influence of Vedic culture you will see. For example, somewhere in this Inca civilization, somewhere in South America, Incas, Mayans, all these civilizations. There also you will see, inscriptions or carvings of Boar, the same Varaha. That means Varaha worship was there also. In Egyptian civilization also you will see some carvings like that. So it was something which was prevalent all over the world. That means this is consistent with what Bhagavatam is saying. Bhagavatam says, even 5,000 years ago, the whole world was ruled by one king. There was Sanatana culture prevailing in the whole world. Right? So, there is a lot of evidence to prove that all of these were true. Right? So, the Lord, He looked at the devotees who were offering prayers to Him and He dived into the water. Diving into the water like a giant mountain, Lord Boar divided the middle of the ocean, and two high waves appeared as the arms of the ocean, which cried loudly as if praying to the Lord, O Lord of all sacrifices, please do not cut me in two, kindly give me protection. Lord Boar, Varaha, penetrated the water with his hooves, which were like sharp arrows, and found the limits of the ocean, although it was unlimited. He saw the earth, the resting place for all the living beings, lying as it was in the beginning of creation, and he personally lifted it. Lord Varaha very easily took the earth on his tusks and got it out of the water. Thus, he appeared very splendid. Then, his anger glowing like the Sudarshana wheel, he immediately killed the demon Hiranyaksha, although he tried to fight with the Lord. So, some interesting things. So, Garbhodaka ocean, earth was sunk deep into the Garbhodaka ocean. So, Lord Varaha went deep by smelling, he identified the earth. Now, the earth was, nowadays, there is a flat earth model. Right? Flat earthers, they are also called. And of course, there's a debate between whether the earth is round or flat. And of course, it's a minority. The flat earthers are minority. Due to whatever reason, they believe earth is flat. And many scientists, they have debunked this flat earth theory. But if you see in our Bhagavatam, it is Bhugola, it is said. Gola. Gola means it is a sphere. It is round in shape. So this Varahadev was able to lift the Mother Earth on his tusks and balance it on the tusk like a football is balanced. No? Sometimes people balance it on their finger like this. So Varahadev was able to do that. So it is not a flat earth model. Okay. So it is a spherical earth only, which is consistent with the modern findings also. Okay, we will try. So Varahadev, when he was lifting the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean, that Hiranyaksha came, the demon who had hidden the earth there. He had hidden it. Why? Because he didn't want yajnas to happen, right? So he had hidden it there. So he came to stop the Lord, and by piercing his body with his sharp tusks, the Lord killed the Hiranyaksha demon. Now we should know, many times some people criticize, what is this, so much blood is there, blood killing and violence, all these things are there in your scriptures, why so much like that? Now first thing is, the scriptures say that yes, ahimsa is important, but when required, himsa is also required. Himsa is also important, right? Recklessly killing people in the name of religion is not what is recommended in our scriptures. But when it is required, you should not become a coward also. Right? That God himself is showing. When Arjuna was telling, let me do ahimsa, let me go out of the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna is condemning his ahimsa. Right? So, himsa is also required to establish dharma. Right? Because laton ke bhoot baton se nahi mante. Right? Sometimes simply if you tell by words, people may not listen, especially people of the stature of Hiranyaksha. They understand a different language and they have to be told in that language. That is point number one. So, himsa is not condemned. Right? When it is required, it has to be used. Second thing is, when the Lord kills, there is a different effect on the person who is killed by the Lord. Now for this we should know a little background. Both Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, they were actually Jaya and Vijaya, the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha. They were actually cursed by the 4 Kumaras, who were stopped by them when they came to have darshan of the Lord. Generally the 4 Kumaras do not get angry, but on that day they got angry. They cursed these 2 people. You be born as demons in the earthly planet. Right? Now, why did the Lord allow this kind of a thing to happen? In his own kingdom in Vaikuntha, these 2 people, they're faultless, they're simply guarding the doors. All of a sudden somebody comes and curses them. Huh? Why is such a thing happening? Actually, it is explained in the scriptures that the Lord, he is very eager to show the path of Dharma to the people of this world. If the Lord and his devotees are in Vaikuntha only, and we are in this earth only, okay, how will we know about the Lord? How will we know what is Dharma? So the Lord is very eager to come here again and again, as we discussed in the beginning. Right? So, Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That is his promise. He wants to come again and again and show to people what is Dharma. Therefore, he has his own troop. He doesn't go alone. He has to go. Now someone, just like a drama party, in the olden days, they used to have this, drama companies used to be there. Now it is not there much. So, one team of drama company will be there. Let's say they practice some 4 or 5 dramas. Prahlad Charitra, Dhruva Charitra, like this, some 4 or 5 dramas. So they will go to different villages or towns. They will halt there for 1 month, 2 months like this. And every day they will perform one drama. And after that 2 months is over, they'll pack up, they'll go to another village, they'll perform their drama there. This was the thing much before the advent of cinema and all of that. So, Lord, now if he has to come to this earth, he has to show to people what will happen to those who follow the adharma path. Now, Lord, that means Lord has to fight against them. No, Lord will not fight against anybody simply like that. Right? Now, somebody who is his confidential devotee will take the role of that demon, and the Lord will kill them, kill their body. And what will happen because of that? People will learn, oh, we should not be like Hiranyakashipu, we should be like Prahlad. Correct? And people will also get to know that if I practice bhakti, the Lord will protect me in all difficult circumstances. It's an assurance. And once the drama is over, they'll pack up and go back. So these are called Nitya Leelas. Nitya Leela means eternal Leelas of the Lord. They come here, perform, then they'll go to another universe, there they'll perform another Leela. Like this. Just like Prabhupada explained, just like even now at this point of time on some part of this earthly planet, in our own planet, sunrise is happening. Now in another place, now at this point of time sunset is happening. So every moment sunrise, sunset is happening on this earth only. Like that Krishna's Leelas are all Nitya Leela. Eternally they are happening. You see, the Lord wants to somehow or the other draw our attention towards Him, towards the goal of life. Therefore He comes and performs these Leelas. You understand? So what happens to those who are killed by the Lord? They actually attain liberation. Means they'll go back to Godhead. Go back to the original position. Right? So it is not that unnecessarily the Lord is killing somebody, simply inflicting violence. No, that is not the idea. And being killed by the Lord means what? It is a prestigious thing. In fact, in today's context, we say martyrs, those who died on the border, in the battlefield. The government gives special privileges to the family members of those martyrs. Martyr means he has laid down the life for the country. Correct? Then imagine if, I'm saying in a material context, if somebody's death is so much glorified, then imagine if somebody is killed by the Lord personally, what is his position? Isn't it? Generally we think Hiranyakashipu is such a bad person. No, we cannot compare ourselves with Hiranyakashipu. His fortune is so great. He's killed by the Lord directly. And he is not ordinary person. He has done a role play. Lord wanted him to do that role play as a demon. Originally he is a devotee only. He is Jaya Vijaya. He is a doorkeeper in Vaikuntha. Understood? So the Lord also has this propensity to fight with somebody, and he cannot fight with ordinary person. His devotee only has to come. So therefore this Lord arranges this kind of things. Otherwise, generally the four Kumaras will not curse anybody like that. And that too, after coming to Vaikuntha, they are cursing in Vaikuntha. Why? Such things will not happen. The Lord orchestrated all these things. Therefore, these are called Leelas. Leela of the Lord. So we have to understand this very nicely. Even Lord Ramachandra, sometimes people argue, what is this Lord Rama? He could not protect his own wife Sita. How will he protect you if you become his devotee? Some people, atheistic people will, they will come up with these kind of arguments. No, that is a Leela of the Lord. We should understand this. Leela means what? Already it is, Lord has thought, this is a screenplay, scene to scene, what should happen, the Lord has already programmed it. I mean, He has decided what should happen. And this, isn't it? So it is not like our activities. We should understand this very nicely. So the Leela of the Lord is meant to give a message to the people. So in Rama's incarnation, what was the purpose? He's setting an example. If you want to become a leader, become a king, you want to sit on the throne, you should be fully detached towards your family members. Ramayana says that only a tapasvi can be a king. Tapasvi means he's fully detached. He's not after comforts, right? So that's why you see when Lord Rama was personally convinced that there is no fault on Mother Sita's character. But once he heard people in his kingdom talking about the character of Mother Sita, so he had to take some strong stand as a king. Therefore, he had to send Mother Sita to the forest. Not that Rama had doubts on Mother Sita's character. That is not the idea. Right? So, these are all Leelas of the Lord. They have some special message for us. The problem is, those who are not trained by the bona fide spiritual master, they start bringing down Rama to our level and they start comparing our activities with Rama. That is the problem. No, that is not the right understanding, isn't it? So, here we get to know that Lord Varaha, he appeared as this, the Lord appeared as this Varaha, and see, it is described here. Thereupon Lord Boar killed the demon within the water, just as a lion kills an elephant. The cheeks and tongue of the Lord became smeared with the blood of the demon, just as an elephant becomes reddish from digging in the purple earth. Then the Lord, playing like an elephant, suspended the earth on the edge of his curved white tusks. He assumed a beautiful bluish complexion like that of a tamala tree, and thus the sages headed by Brahma could understand him to be the supreme personality of Godhead and offered respectful obeisances unto the Lord. All the sages uttered and with great respect, O unconquerable enjoyer of all sacrifices, all glories and all victories unto you. You are moving in your form of the personified Vedas, and in the hair holes of your body the oceans are submerged. For certain reasons, you have assumed this form of a boar. Like this, all the Devatas headed by Lord Brahma, they start offering prayers to the Lord. Right? So, after offering prayers, what happened? The Lord, being thus worshipped by the great sages, touched the earth with his hooves and placed it on the earth, on the water. In this manner, the personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu, the maintainer of all the living entities, raised the earth from within the water, and having placed it afloat on the water, he returned to his own abode. If one hears and describes in a devotional service, this is very important, service attitude, this auspicious narration of Lord Boar, which is worthy of description, the Lord who is within the heart of everyone is very pleased. So if we understand this Varaha Leela, what happens? The Lord becomes pleased with us. Why does the Lord become pleased? By hearing about Him. That means by hearing about Him, we develop attachment to Him. We develop devotion to Him. And the Lord is happy that, oh, you are trying to come back to me. For that He is satisfied. So nothing remains unachieved when when the Supreme Lord is pleased with someone. Right? One who engages in transcendental loving service is elevated to the highest perfectional stage by the Lord Himself, who is seated in everyone's heart. And this chapter concludes by saying, who other than one who is not a human being can exist in this world and not be interested in the ultimate goal of life? Who can refuse the nectar of narrations about the personality of Godhead's activities, which by itself can deliver one from all material pangs? So this chapter is concluding by saying that only if one is not a human being, one will refuse to hear about the Lord. One who is a human being, who is sane, who is in good mental state, he will actually take pleasure in hearing about Krishna's activities, because just by hearing, one can become free from all material miseries. Just by hearing about Krishna's activities, we can become free from material miseries. So we should take interest in knowing more and more about Krishna, his activities. So as I said, this next Sunday is not this coming Sunday, next Sunday after that is Varaha Jayanti, Varaha Dwadashi, the day on which Lord Varaha appeared. And on that day, we can pray to Lord Varaha Dev by chanting 1 or 2 extra rounds of Hare Krishna mantra, right? On all such special days, we should try to chant more. Previous day is Ekadashi, that is also a very special day for chanting more. That is Saturday, 8th February, Saturday. 9th February is Varaha Dwadashi, right? So when we take interest in hearing about the Lord, chanting His holy names, the Lord will bless us with determination to cross all kinds of challenges and obstacles and achieve the ultimate goal of life, which is to go back to Krishna. So we'll stop here. Shri Varaha Dev Bhagwan ki jai, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions anyone has? Please distribute the beads. Any questions anyone has? Any remarks, comments?
Yeah. As you told, God has came in order to make the impression that remembering Him, we have to go through this thing with the love and devotion. But still, this demonic people are still keep on increasing. But what is the role He is trying to play in order to make the demons to His devotee in the current?
Yes. Now, increasing means we are only seeing this earthly planet population and we are saying demonic people are increasing. But you don't have the statistics of the entire existence, no? Correct? Actually, this earth, this material world is only 1/4. 1/4 of the jivas exist in the material world. 3/4 exist in the spiritual world. They are all law-abiding citizens. We are only here law-breaking citizens. We are here, this material world. So, now your question is, what is the Lord doing to stop this demoniac mentality? What is the Lord doing to make everyone devotees of the Lord? Yes, the Lord is acting very much in the Kali Yuga through the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, through Hare Krishna movement, through the devotees. Just like all of us, before coming in touch with Srila Prabhupada's teachings, before coming in touch with Transdimensions Club, most of us had no idea about chanting Hare Krishna mantra. Now the Lord has entered our life. He is doing His Leela in the form of Hare Krishna mantra. So we are also part of that Lord's Leela of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, who has appeared in the form of holy name. Now what we should do is, we should spread this to more people. More people should become devotees, only then they will be happy, right? So more people, we should make them chant. Give them Bhagavad Gita book, give them chanting beads, make them chant. And the best part is you don't have to go anywhere else. In your campus there are innumerable people, correct? Like all of you have come here. So every time, why don't you get one more person with you? That's the greatest. If you want to actually bring a change, right? Be the change. Correct? No? We should be the change. We cannot simply think, oh, somebody will come and do all this. No, it is not for me. No. One who has received the mercy of the Lord wants to distribute this mercy to more and more people. So what is the Lord doing? You're asking, right? What is the Lord doing? The Lord is very much active in the form of Hare Krishna mantra. He is easily accessible to anybody through the process of chanting. Now we have got it, why don't we give this to more people? That is our duty. Correct? So each one get one. Yeah, I'm serious about it. Each one get one for the Friday sessions. Is it difficult? What do you say? We can try now at least. The Lord will see our sincere efforts. If you are successful or not, that is, Lord has to inspire that person whom you told to bring. But from our side, we should put efforts. Correct? Like the Modi government says, no? One nation, one election. Like that, for Transdimensions, we can also have a tagline. Each one, get one. You should not come alone. That is the whole point. You should come with somebody. Each one, get one. Okay, let us chant now.
Prabhu, I have one doubt.
Now, can we take up doubts later? Because we have to go down, right? So, let us chant. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So let us chant attentively at our own pace. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.